I'm sorry, but the inheritance. Dan got a letter with some surprising news. Check them out. Whether your child enjoys arts and crafts, swimming, sports, recreation, singing, or exploring, they're sure to have a ball at Camp Emerald Lake. That just sounds sketchy. We know that every family has unique needs, and we strive to be as flexible as possible. Daily, weekly, and monthly packages are available in both sleepover and pickup options. Our lifeguards are fully certified. Every counselor is trained in the cutting-edge cardiopulmonary resuscitation technique. Just say CPR, man. Our goal is fun, but our priority is safety. The enclosed brochure contains information on all exciting opportunities at Camp Emerald Lake. We're sure you'll find many things to like, and we hope to see your child soon. Okay. So he looks like he wants to find someone his age to play with. Maybe he wants to go to the camp. I don't know. Camp seems kind of sketchy. Dan, I hope you're doing well. I got this address from your father. I hope it's correct. I'll get to the point. When your cousin Richard passed away last year, we discovered his pipe business had done very well. He wasn't wealthy, but he was very comfortable. The execution of his will, we were somewhat surprised to find that he wished to distribute his estate among all living blood relatives. He reserved the lion's share for his immediate family, as I'm sure you'll understand, but there was a portion allotted to you as well. Enclosed is a check for the full amount. I trust you will honor his memory by putting it to good use. Uncle Wayne. I'm sure you understand. Just be around people. She wanted to be social now? Good, and then they're gonna be moving.
I called the co-op today. It isn't wildly expensive, but it sure doesn't fit into the budget. It was a bigger letdown than I thought, not being able to just sign up on the spot. It gets so lonely here sometimes. And I think Tommy's starting to feel it too. We try to play with him every day, and the woods here are pretty magical for someone his age. But kids need to be around other kids sometimes. He can only play with his cars so often. Sometimes I wish there were actual neighbors here. The only friend he's made is Davy, but seeing them at the park once in a while isn't the same as having someone to pal around with every day. It's summer vacation, and he's pretty much all alone.
I actually wouldn't mind, but I'm weird. So I'm guessing this other kid in the drawing is Davy. That Tommy really wants to go play with Davy.
How's it going, Tommy?
I don't know.
I don't know. Tommy sounds a little old. You have to deliver. Oh yeah, I need to possess them. Said they're swimming. Come here. Possess you for a hot second. Oh, there's that drawing we saw. Something else here? You just keep making that really annoying sound. I'm just getting that really annoying sound. See you doing that.
What about your rocket?
I already played with it.
Well, someone's getting sassy, aren't we? I already played with him. Excuse you. Dan, I looked into it, and the guy at the literary register said that the pre-release ads do drive up pre-orders quite a bit. It's his job to sell ads, of course, so we have to take that with a grain of salt. I usually leave this kind of thing to the guys in the marketing department, so I'm a little out of my depth here, but I checked with them, and they said the same thing. So it seems like the ads would make sense if the book is good, if I love how if is caps here. You don't want to oversell and underdeliver. I have to say, this is the first time I've had a writer offer to pay extra for marketing. You sure about it? There aren't any refunds if the book tanks. You've got some drive, though, coming up with an idea like this. I'll give you that. Think about it and let me know.
Yeah. I think so. Thanks. Yeah.
Well, she sounded like she was in here. Read it.
I only met Rick once, at a family reunion that must have been, 15 years ago? Turns out he made his fortune by, get this, selling high-end pipes. The Sherlock Holmes kind, not the plumbing kind. He must have been a hell of an interesting guy.
Really?
I mean, he found a niche and made his way in the world. You have to respect that. It makes me wonder, am I giving everything I have to this book, or am I leaving myself an out? It isn't announced yet. I could always pull the plug. I'd never get another advance again, sure, but there isn't a gun to my head. Unless I put one there. Metaphorically, of course.
Dude. You okay? Can you take Tommy out today and maybe to the beach? I think you could both use some fresh air. I have to be in town by noon. I probably won't be back till 4. Okay.
Anne, I'm going to cut right through the pleasantries and ask you, who is this Ryan that Mom mentioned on the phone? Someone new? Are you trying to keep it a secret, or did it just slip your mind the last time we talked? Spill it! Things here are moving along, I guess. When we came up, I thought it would be great to have more dedicated time to paint, but I didn't realize it would be so isolating. I miss having more people around and having new ideas floating about. I got lucky in town last week, though. I found an artist co-op called Makeshift, and it seems really interesting. It's not too big, but there are lots of different...
She already talked about how that was disappointing because it was too expensive. But she's lonely. That's her problem. She wants to be around more people. Tommy seems to be wanting to hang out with his buddy.
Hi, Dad.
So what's on Mama's mind?
The entire world's out there.
What?
The entire world's out there.
The entire world's out there.
Is there something out there?
Oh. Something out there? Yeah, the entire world's out there. Wow. Just wow. Could you get any cheesier? It said the exit or memory. I'm just double checking that I'm not missing something. Aha, good thing I decided to look.
I knew we should have eaten something with that wine last night. My head is killing me. It was totally worth it, though. We put on some music and hung out on the couch, all cuddled up like we were freshmen again. He didn't talk about his book once. We got a little too into a discussion about whose favorite band from college was still the best, and we accidentally woke Tommy up. We got him settled back down and decided to call it a night, too. Well, except for...
Looks like I made the right choice. Nope. So, my painter gear in a bag and take it to the golf. So she wants to go painting. Not trying to be on your side this time, Linda. I think Tommy could use some fun. Come here. No.
Just mailed the package to Paul, and I might have dodged the bullet. I was most of the way through writing some pretty embarrassing stuff. Alice eavesdropping on a phone call to give one particularly ugly example, when I decided to look for my notebook one more time. Maybe it was desperation, but something just told me to try it. I lucked out and found it this time and almost sprinted back to the office to see how much I could repair. I didn't have time.
So that's just showing you the results of your choices, it seems. I've not found all of Tommy's things, clues from this chapter yet, so I'm not quite ready to go on.
Don't joke like that.
Uh-oh, what'd you joke about, man?
And when I finish my book in December,
And my kite to the camp Mommy told me about. So he wants to go camping. She wants to go to the co-op. Daddy, what do you want? So do not tell me you've poofed on me. Alright. Alright, so let me go find the kite. It's Tommy's turn. That's okay. I will compromise with Linda because he seems like he's making a bad choice. Because even his editor dude or publisher's like, don't know about that, man. Alright, Harold, what you got for today? I'm now certain there's something strange with the light here. It must be one of those windows. I was reviewing old deeds in the living area and saw some sort of flash of light in the corner of my eye. I would assume the elevation would put the ocean too far away for the sun to reflect off a wave, but perhaps not. I looked, but there was nothing there except a strange shimmer, like heat above the asphalt of a hot road. It dissipated almost immediately. Perhaps some concentration of the light caused it. But on to work, I've been cataloging possible options for the property. I owe Mr. Lowry a report by the 24th. So, I'm the cause of people leaving? That would seem to be the understanding here? That my existence is chasing people away? Or am I sending them on their way because I'm motivating them to do the right thing? Where's her co-op bag? I failed to log my activities yesterday as nothing of note occurred. There have been no tricks of the light for 2 days, and I've grown certain that the ones I saw were reflections from the ocean and probably reaching the house. I've been able to focus on the task at hand, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be task at hand, and I'm suitably pleased with the condition of the property. I have also reached a decision of how to proceed. It came to me this morning as I stood in the conservatory admiring the beauty of the forest. I hadn't begun my work yet, and I was thinking of nothing in particular when an idea came to my head and fully formed. I'm surprised that it appeared with such clarity, but it's not unheard of for the mind to ponder a question in the subconscious. As for the idea, it's quite simple. I will buy the house myself. Is there a bag in here? But I am not letting you make a stupid decision with your money, man. She's already talked about how expensive things are, meaning you're not filthy rich. You gotta choose wisely. I know I'm making this take longer if I can just possess the lights and jump around, you know? There it is. There's our choice. You don't like it? You can suck it. What you should do. Tommy didn't realize at first that spending a week at camp actually meant his parents loved him, but by Tuesday he was elated. He made new friends, flying his kite and swimming with other children his age. His spirits improved almost overnight, and he connected with adventures with a gift from his father. Dan became a hero. Yay! He should be happy about that. Dan called the co-op to see if there were any less expensive options and learned that they hosted after-hours workshops on everything from stitching to calligraphy. He offered to teach creative writing twice a month, and the extra money was enough to pay for Linda to paint the co-op 1 day a week. See, good daddy choices. Dan decided not to place the ad, and deep down he felt like he was giving himself a vote of no confidence. It was subtle, but he knew that regardless of the book's current state, he had apprehensions of being able to finish it the way he wanted. So he hedged his bets. He couldn't shake the lack of confidence for days, and his writing stumbled. Oh my god. You were saving yourself some money to do things for your family, dude. Stop being so freaking selfish. Lynn. Catching up. Okay, so Tommy's not doing well. I saw that when he continues to struggle a bit. I like not having to be stealthy, by the way. Mr. and Mrs. Kaplan wanted to stress that it's perfectly normal for some children to fall behind in a specific area. Tommy may be struggling with reading comprehension, but his verbal and visual abilities are excellent. That said, he won't catch up on his own. He will need support from both of you. I recommend that you do the attached exercises with Tommy every weekday morning for 1 to 2 hours. Ooh, he'll be unable to focus exclusively on these for 2 straight hours, so you'll need to take individual breaks. Thank you for putting that in there. But use your judgment and stay with it as long as you feel he can stay engaged. That's always a problem. I suggest that you do your sessions in the morning before he tires himself out if he becomes distracted. I feel confident that with a supportive environment and dedicated to exercise, he will catch up with the other children in his class. Please be in touch if you have any other questions. Okay, so Tommy's struggling with reading.
Barb, sorry it's been so long since I've written. Things have been
I still don't
hectic
understand
around
why
here.
we're writing
I'm trying to
people
figure out a
when
way
we
to get
clearly can
things
call
back
them on
on
the phone.
track. I don't really want to get into it, but we're getting pulled in a lot of different directions right now. Nothing hurtful, just competing priorities, I guess. Although those can get worse and worse over time. I mean, Dan and I, before we got up here, we'd started to drift. Look at that. I said I didn't want to get into it, and I did anyway. Enough about me. Please tell me you're doing well.
So we've got competing priorities. Tommy's struggling. I don't know what her competing priority is, other than trying to be more social. Which does not seem to be working out with what they need right now. Oh. Ideas, weekly outing, where, Tuesday movie night, check channel guide, they're moving to town, then dinner to old-fashioned picnic farmer's market. So she's trying to come up with some ideas. It seems to keep things going in a positive direction.
We barely talked yesterday.
Wow, you're right. I guess we've just been so busy.
Just got back from the co-op. Tuesdays are pretty much my favorite day of the week now. Today, Monica showed me some brush techniques for blending my tones more evenly. She really is amazing. I can't believe how much...
So there was her happy thought based on getting to go to the co-op.
Dan and I had a good conversation today. Well, we'll have to wait and see if it was actually good, but I feel like I got my point across about family time. We've been getting a little frayed on the little things lately, and it reminded me of something Anne said one time. Love is a behavior, not an emotion. If something's important to you, you show it with your actions. We weren't doing so well with that before we got here. I told Dan my idea. I want us all to eat together at 7 every night, with family time after that. Tommy's wiped out by 8:30, so we'd get a solid hour and a half as a family, and then Dan and I could have the rest of the night to ourselves. And I think 7's a reasonable request. The rest of the working world knocks off at 5, right?
That was
It
really
doesn't
late
really
for a
matter
dinner.
what we do with the time, just that we spend it together. It's easy to make excuses when you've got a lot going on, which is why patterns help. I hope he feels the same way.
Yeah, well. I'm trying to get to the end of this little segment. And then stop the recording because I know I've been going longer than 15 minutes, but this is like, I'm really into it. Aww. Poor Tommy.
Honey, listen to me. You are smart.
Will it make me smarter?
Poor kid. And might get your self-worth questioned. Still working on that same picture. It's too bad. I just want to like reach through and hug that child. He's struggling.
You want to grab a bite later?
Lonnie, letters, ages 4 through 6, 12 chapters on reading comprehension exercises.
Time. This would all be easier if I'd never have to sleep.
Oh, hi.
Last night after Linda went to bed, I spent some time, there's that word again, trying to make everything fit. I even drew up a little chart. Math is simple. It doesn't work. Technically, I could still get in 8 hours, assuming I don't eat or need to do anything that's not writing. But what about letters, reading, dealing with Paul? Hell, what about doing the dishes or taking out the trash? Not to mention that knocking off for the day isn't like flipping off a switch. It takes time to crawl out of my head and start functioning like a normal person again. And I can't just split it up into smaller chunks. Sometimes it takes an hour of false starts just to get going on anything usable. And stopping just sends the whole process right back to square one. Something's got to give.
Yeah, you need a better process, dude. Can't just shut everything out for this. That's not how it works. Perfect schedule, aka the single unattached writer's guide. 10 to 2, right. Well, if you would get up earlier than 10... 2 to 3, eat and sleep away, or step away. 3 to 7, write. 7 to 8, eat. 8 to 10, compress and edit and life. Wrenches Tommy's till 11. Knock off at 7.
Alan, this letter might come from out of the blue, but do you remember when you
gets on
told
my
me
nerves a little
about
bit.
Bobby falling behind on reading? Looks like we're there with Tommy. We knew he was struggling when we came up here, but his teacher gave us a list of books for him to work on over the break and said we should see how he responded to the change in environment. She gave us a few sample readings and told us to keep an eye on how he was grasping the concepts. Tommy still isn't there, and long story short, the pediatrician in town knows a specialist who gave us some exercises to try. They seem pretty straightforward, but I wanted to write and see if you had any tips that helped you guys with Bobby. Damn. Just realized I didn't even ask how you've been. I'm sorry. This stuff is...
I think I understand the point of putting it in letter format because of the fact, we are just kind of reading their thoughts. But the man said to do the Lonnie book every morning. Well, we definitely need to help Tommy. I can't let him fall behind. That would be cruel. Not what I wanted. Family should have dinner on the table every night. Well, that's not necessarily a mandatory thing. I hate to say that, but it's not.
Okay.
Where are you at, man?
That's fine.
Are you both in here? No, it sounds like he's up here talking to Tommy. I heard him. There he is. Turn. Some little monkey. Okay, I'm missing something of his. Where is it? Oh, did I read this?
Time.
Yep.
Time.
Shut up. Now you know you're bad at time management. Did I not do his memories or something? I think I found everything. I'm working a little more subtle, dude. He's getting bullied. Oh, that sucks.
Really fun.
Did I explore your... I didn't explore your memories, did I?
Should I have run the ad? I don't know if it would have helped the book, but I still spent all day kicking myself. Did I cop out? Is there some other reason why I didn't want to?
Yeah, there's a good reason why we didn't want to put out the ad. It's too expensive with no guarantee that it's actually going to help you. And then if your book sucked in the end because of all this writer block crap you got going on, then you'd have been SOL, my friend.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have snapped. I just...
So, Dudeface lost his tempers. New rule, don't disturb me at the door to office. It goes, no. You don't get to have that one, my friend. That's completely unreasonable. But I copped him out last time, so I think I'm just going to give him that. Because if they spend all that time in the morning with him, then that should help. Alright, January 22nd, 1948, the final entry before I depart. His freaking eyes look like ones. The bank would no doubt prevent me from purchasing the house due to the inherent conflict of interest, but its given history and frequent ownership changes, I feel confident the mortgage department will be glad to have the property off their hands. I believe I can set up a trust, or perhaps a shell company, and convince Mr. Lowry that we must part with the property for less than market value. I feel certain I can appeal to his conservative nature. I believe it will prove a shrewd investment as a rental property, and I think I now understand why people do not stay for extended periods. I find myself unable to describe the feeling precisely, but in the time here I found my mind drifting in strange ways, as if it is not always my own. The natural beauty is undeniable. Perhaps shorter visits or wiser use of property. Yes, I believe that is a fine idea indeed. Again, I wonder if that's my doing, this little spirit form that I am. I keep coming here making sure there's like nothing in here I'm supposed to be looking at. Doesn't ever seem to be anything. Make sure there's nothing in the kitchen. This music is incredibly eerie. Poor kid. I guess I'm going to give him the door. Give him the door. I don't know if that makes me a horrible person or not. But I mean, I don't know. Diary of Claire Bradford. Oh, okay, somebody new, 1961. We're here, so why don't I feel more excited? This was supposed to be fun, just Roger and me. Mom and Dad think we're with Ben and Laurie, but of course that was just a trick. Nope, just Roger and me in this big house by the ocean for a whole week. I'm sad to see there's no piano here, but I suppose a week without practice won't do much harm. I guess maybe being alone with Roger that long is what was making me feel nervous, though why should that be? He's my fiancé after all. If I'm supposed to spend the rest of my life with him, why should I be worried about spending a week with him? Or I shouldn't be worried about spending a week with him, should I? Everyone has second thoughts before they get married, right? Sure. I don't know. There's no reason they still can't have like dinners together if he closes the door to his office. Dan didn't want Tommy to start another school year behind, so he committed to helping the little man for 2 hours every morning. Have both of his parents there help Tommy's confidence as much as his reading. In the morning practices together in a bit, they always report you. See? Family time still happened. Dan reached a compromise with his family. He would make a room in his schedule during the day, but when his office doors were closed, he wasn't to be disturbed. He desperately wanted longer, uninterrupted writing blocks, but it made the best of the shorter sessions he was able to fit in. See? Compromises work. And now she's going to be all mopey because he won't come down. When Tommy got used to eating dinner without Dan, and most nights he stopped working long enough to kiss Tommy goodnight before heating up his dinner in the oven. Dan and Linda still found time to catch up a few nights a week. Most of the time they were ships passing in the night, each on their own course. Well, that means you guys just have some serious issues you got to work out, and it's getting beyond what I can do for you. And that's how the Kaplan's first month of the house on the cliff came to an end. Dan sent what he had so far to Paul. It went badly. Dan knew the work wasn't very good, and Paul echoed that judgment. Promised to keep up the news and the growth over the time being, but told Dan that without any major improvement in the quality of the book might not be publishable. So it shouldn't be your only job, really. The next day, Dan made good on his promise to take Tommy into the woods and look for arrowheads. Dan had research local tribes and regale Tommy with the stories of Native American history when they got dirty looking for arrowheads at the side of the They soon filled one them laughing, digging, and talking. The arrowheads became his prized possessions. I'm trying to read it fast now because they do not give you a lot of time. A few nights later, Dan and Linda got a babysitter and drove into town for a date. They spent more than they should have on a bottle of wine and had such a good time that they didn't notice everyone else was leaving. When they finally realized they were the last ones in the restaurant, they apologized and left after giving their waitress a generous tip. See? Still doing okay. They still had 2 more months on the coast, and their story was just beginning. But seriously, sounds like these people need a therapist to help them out just a little bit. Alright, stop. Alright, we're gonna stop there. My recording is way too long at this point, I know, so I'm gonna end it here. I plan to, I think I can actually finish this within the sitting. It does not seem like it's gonna be too hard to do. I'm probably just going to end up shooting myself in the foot with a few decisions here or there, because I don't necessarily agree with Dan's decisions and thoughts about how writing should work. If you can't function in a normal day basis, then you need to find something else to do, because your family should come first. And if you can't make a living off a book because you can't sit down and actually think about it, then writing should be your pastime, not your devotional job that gets your family through and gets meals on the table. Anyway, that's just my personal little thing. That's why writing is my side job. I do it when I have a chance. That's why it's taken me so long to get one out, because I also don't have confidence in my writing. I always think, I'll finish it and go back and hate whatever I did at the beginning instead of just trying to find a compromise to fix what I started with. I end up starting the whole thing over. But I have a job. I can buy things for myself, my headphones, my laptop, mouse, the camera, all of it I bought with my money. Paying for my own phone bill now. I mean, come on. Gotta be able to function. If you can't function, do something else. Anyway, personal soapbox to the side. Yes, I know it is 6:06. That's all for right now, so catch me in the next episode. Make your return appointment on the way out the door.